So we have 5 people online. Hopefully a couple more people will jump in. And we need a few more people to show up. Hopefully they'll come in while we're going, okay? But you got it. Yeah, I was gonna flip it.
So do we have any guests with us tonight online? Hello, what's your name?
Thomas.
Hi, Thomas, welcome.
Thanks for coming out. How'd you hear about us? Website. Website? Great. It's good for something. Okay. Just a real quick shout out to a couple of our sponsors for semi-new and new. Digital Pro Lab and Final Works is a great place to get stuff printed until you get to where you're putting your own. And obviously there's lots of other labs around the country, but these 2 labs are local here in San Antonio. So when you get it and it's not right, you can actually go look somebody in the eye and go, this is what's wrong with it, okay? Which doesn't happen that often. But, don't advance yet.
Yeah, Patricia's trying to get in.
If she's, okay. All right. Hey, Horn. Go ahead and grab a chair. We got a couple of awards to give out because well, I wasn't here in July, okay, and I wasn't here because I had an accident and broke my hip in 2 places and 8 ribs. So, but the meeting went on, and Holly and Frank did a great job. And besides thanking them for picking up the ball and running with it, I just want to say thank you to all the prayers and emails I got for speedy recovery. And I'm about 80% back. And by the time we do that, Kelvin and photo in October, I should be good to go. Okay, but to take care of some old business before we get on to new business. Horse, come on up here. Right. Come stand over here. All right, that's it.
I have 2 and I want to show how to use it.
No, not yet. All right, man. Okay. Congratulations on winning the July assignment photo. Here's a certificate hanging on the wall with all the others. Okay, it's like payday. And here's the payday. Okay, $25 card to digital format.
That's my
Good to hear. Okay. Then in August, nobody could pick the ball up because it just couldn't be used. So that was the first month that we moved from the quad days here, and there's a communication bandwidth. Okay. Plus, I was still convalescing. So, Sandy, come on. Sandy won the county photo with ornamental architecture. Okay, so what we have for you is that coveted, highly coveted $25 card. Okay. All right. Congratulations. Okay. And that's all business. That takes care of July and August. Okay. Oh, I guess you could have.
Christiane's ready to enter.
Okay. Go ahead and advance. I should have had you advance it while I was doing that.
This is so frustrating. Okay.
All right, so Horace, Sandy,
There was Horace, too.
congratulations. All right, let's move on. Okay, so, July's good, but the problem with August is we weren't able to have the meeting. The July minutes didn't get approved. Okay, so we need to approve those tonight, okay? So I'm just gonna move a motion that the minutes be approved. I need a second. Ralph seconds the motion. All in favor to approve the July minutes? Aye. Any opposed? Good. Okay, so the minutes are approved. There are no August minutes. Beverly, there should probably just be one memorandum for record that the meeting, August meeting was canceled, therefore there's no minutes. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. Photo review. Okay. So the assignment this month is, but before we get into that, I got some extra time tonight that I didn't have at the library. Okay. And we need to talk about photos and print break. Okay. Let me get my notes. Wednesday, let me get down here so people online can hear. Wednesday, we are doing the install at the Civic Center. Okay. Need you to come in with your prints at 9 o'clock. Okay. By then, we should have all the chains installed. Okay. The way participated before, and Horace, I know you have participated before. Ralph, you have participated before. So we have these chains that we zip tie to an eye bolt up in the rafters, and the chain hangs down. Okay, so it hangs down, comes to about right here. Okay, so that gives us room to put about 2 photos. Okay, you want, hanging 2 photos or 1 chain, you want the about 2 inches space between the 2 photos, and you want that 2-inch space to be about eye level. Okay, you're hanging 1 photo, and you want the center of your photo eye level. Okay, and we have almost half the chain around, so you give it a good tug, and you go, oh yeah, as long as it's how I do it, it's a whole lot of math. And here are hooks that will hook into the chain, and then hang the wire on the back on the hook. We also have some chains come away from the wall, approximately 2 inches. Yeah, 2-3 inches. The pictures kind of, you don't do anything to support the back. It kind of, depending on which area you get it going, they use some pictures. Okay. So we ordered some 2-inch foam blocks that will attach to the back of the ring.
They can't hear you. Sorry, I was trying to see what they were saying. They can't hear you. So we need to have, we stay closer to the microphone.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah,
Okay.
we missed most of what you said.
Oh, did you?
yes. Were you demonstrating something? Because if you were off camera too.
I wasn't demonstrating anything.
Okay. When you walk away, we can't hear you, and it's kind of garbled. There's a lot of background noise when you move away.
That's Ralph, okay? He hasn't had dinner yet. Okay, so the foam blocks, we're gonna put 2 on the bottom of the back of the photos to help stabilize them, okay? Just so you know before we get to it, all right? Let me close that. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do. Show up at 9 o'clock. First thing we'll do is, as you show up, I will ask you to put your picture on the floor against the wall in a certain space. And it's gonna take once, and if you were there last time, you know this is how it worked. We need to see what we got, so we can figure out Oh, Homer, you come over here and put yours here. Sandy, you come over here and put yours here, okay? So that we can get it going. I would say if you're able to bring like a 3-step ladder, that will help, especially if you're doing double picture. I will bring one, but only one person can get on it at a time. So, okay, all right. And then hopefully we can be done by 10:30, 11 o'clock. And then the plan is for anybody that wants to, we'll see if we can grab lunch down at Krause's or something like that. Okay. Now then, that's Wednesday is the install day. Now, I have created, well, I've started. I've started with Frank. How many photos you got, Frank? Good, because I made 4. All right. After I did it, I said, "Oh crap! What if he's only got 1 photo?" Okay, I'm gonna pass this around so everybody can see it, and I'm gonna make this for everyone. So if you could email me tonight, would be good, or in the morning, exactly how many photos you finally decided you're gonna do. Okay, so I'll know how many of those to do, because all they say is the Braunfels Photographic Society 2023 Fall Exposition, artist Frank. To know more or buy this artwork, scan the QR code below. Okay, and it's got a QR code, and if you scan this QR code, go ahead and scan it. If you want, to Frank's personalized gallery on our videos. And only Frank's photos for this show will be in that. Are we good? Okay. Now, I went in and for each person that committed to Photos and Print Break, I made you a co-organizer, okay? Which gives you a lot of admin stuff. Don't go in and mess up nobody else's gallery, okay? Because I created the gallery, it says, oh, photo uploaded by so-and-so, okay? And what I did was I put somebody's photo in there, but I went into the caption and said, so-and-so by so-and-so, okay? The title and who it was by, okay? So I'm gonna need you, and I'm willing to help you, if you need the help, go in, but you need to upload the photos to the gallery, to your gallery, and then go in and do the caption stuff. And what we want in the caption is, if you'd like to buy this artwork, it's $150, okay, with frame, and it's $7 or $100 without frame, okay, whatever you want. And you can contact me at so-and-so. If you click on the title photo in my gallery, in the comments section, I put my name, I put my email and my phone, okay? And then I got to go back in. I've got 3 photos in there right now. I'm still working on the 4th one. It should be done by tonight. But in the comment section for that photo, I'll put, how much I want for the photo, and framed or unframed, and how to get in touch with me. Okay, that way they're all uniform. Each individual artist has their own QR code that takes the prospective buyer to your, your photo album. Now, after photo break is over, we can delete the first slide says photo break, okay? And put in a title that says artwork by Frank, artwork by Homer, okay? And then if you don't already have a portfolio online somewhere, you can use this album as a personal portfolio for yourself. Okay. Now then, I had two people. Hey, Suzanne, is she leaving? No, there she is at the bottom.
Yep,
Suzanne,
I'm here.
okay. I could not find you in Meetup so that I could make you a co-organizer.
Okay.
Are you in?
What do I need to do to update that?
Well, do you have an account in the Meetup site for
I
us?
do. I don't think, I may not be in with the New Braunfels group.
But you need to join the New Braunfels group then.
Okay,
Okay?
okay.
And there was somebody else, and I don't remember who it was. I'll reach out to them tomorrow. Okay?
Victor,
Yes?
how do we get to that portfolio?
The QR code will take you there. I'll tell you right now, if you want to just go find it yourself without having the QR code to get there, go to the New Braunfels Meetup site, click the word photos, and it takes you to all the photo albums. And then find the album with your name on it, and then click on it, and you will already have a photo commemorate placard. And then while you're in the album, you can upload the photos you intend to put up, okay? And if during the course of doing this, you have any problems, just give me a call. I can walk you through it. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So Frank's just takes you to the placard.
Do what?
Frank's just takes you to the placard.
It does. Okay. When you open it up, there's arrows on the side that would show, you know, if there was more pictures, you could go left or right.
Oh,
Okay. And then there's also an area for a caption. Okay, so it works.
okay.
Okay. So install on Wednesday, then the show, the concourse of the Civic Center is open 10 to 5, Monday through Saturday. But there's an asterisk on Saturday, okay? Only if there's something being rented and going on. If nobody has rented the convention center, the doors are locked. Now, I can tell you this coming weekend, the gun show is there. So it is still open Saturday and Sunday. The hours Sunday is 10 to 4. Okay. And then back Monday, it's back to 10 to 5. Let people know that you have artwork down at the Civic Center. Encourage them to go down and look at it. And then on the 27th of September, it's when we're going to do our Meet the Artist reception. Okay. We have a room down there from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. is set up. That's where we haul in stuff that we want to eat while we're there, and drink while we're there, and stuff like that. Get set up to do anything that between now and then we decide we want to do. Okay. And then we spend a couple of hours mingling, and hopefully y'all have invited all your family and a bunch of other people to come down, and they come down, and we all mingle and stuff like that. And hopefully somebody sells some work. But when we start closing down, we do have to clean up the room after ourselves so that we don't have to pay a cleanup fee. And then you can take your work home that night rather than coming back the next day. Okay? And if everybody takes their work home that night, then the next day, I'm the only one that needs to go back to get our chains, okay, taken down. That makes sense to everybody? Okay.
So, what do you want in the email?
Well, you're gonna put that in.
Okay.
You upload, it's gonna say, you wanna put a caption, and I would recommend put, something like, government trench, okay, by so-and-so, or
So you just need to know from us how many units.
how many, so I know how many of these to print. Okay, because I don't want to print too many, because the price of paper products at Office Depot has skyrocketed. Well, for you to upload the photos, you only have to go up to the website, click on photos, and it will take you to all the different photo albums. Find the one photo album that has your name on it. This is Mito, okay? You can use either account, it don't matter. Okay, because I made both of you co-organizers, so you'll have the power in whatever account you happen to be signed into. Okay, now then, I will make the placard with the QR code, and then after we have all our pictures up, I'll go around putting them up. Okay, so as people come through, they scan it, it'll go to your folder. Okay, and then whatever you want to put in the comment section. Photo not for sale. Photo for sale. This is how much. This is how you get in touch with me. Okay? All right.
I have a few more comments in the chat.
Okay.
I can't get to it.
The chat. Let me find the chat.
Frank, would you like to do the Zoom meeting, please? Could you log back in and manage the chat? That way Victor doesn't have to keep up with it.
Well, I can't hear Victor, but I thought we resolved that by me coming back to the table. And then
Frank's gonna help us manage the chat.
okay.
Meeting, I can, slides.
Frank's back in. Okay, now then, hey Carol,
Yes.
for Fall into Art, we're gonna display the artwork from the kids that we sent to National. So I'm gonna need you to send me those files, and then we need to get hold of Dan and let him know, okay?
Okay.
All right, and then you and I need to talk offline about that. Plus, we got a board meeting coming up first week of October. So things we need to be ready to discuss is interclub competition and the youth national competition.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So when do I need to get you those photos?
next couple of weeks or so, because
Okay.
I'm hopefully gonna get Amanda to comp the printing cost from Digital ProLab.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, it is September. And every September, the president is supposed to appoint a, is it election chairman? Not nominating chairman for the next year's ballot. Okay? And this has always been a jump through the hoop, twist people's arms, just to meet a sentence in the bylaw. Okay? But it's there, and we haven't done anything to address it yet. Okay? So I'm gonna ask for a volunteer first. Would anyone that is out there in Zoom land or here at the Senior Center like to volunteer? And you can't be on the board. It's gotta be someone that is not on the board to be the nomination committee chairman, to reach out to the membership and solicit nominations for our different positions. Now, I can tell you, well, I'll tell whoever volunteers. I'm not gonna waste everybody's time. But I will tell you that some of the spots we already, some members that are already on the board have expressed that they would continue for another year, either in the position they're in or a different position, because maybe they reached their 2-year mark by the bylaws for the position they're in. Okay? So you only got to find about, what do we figure, 3 people? Yeah, we're short 3 people for different, and that would probably be a couple of directors' positions and presidents. Okay. What?
That's the hard.
But back to my original question, do I have a volunteer? Bylaw says I can appoint.
I don't mind helping, I don't really know what all I need to do, but I feel like I'm a little unbiased at least. I don't know all around.
Okay, that is super. And I'm sorry, remind me what your name is?
It's Taryn, like Taryn's paper.
Taryn.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm assuming, Beverly, do you have Taryn's last name?
I'm not sure.
We have it in there.
Okay.
Probably on the membership list, yes.
Okay, Taryn has volunteered to be the nomination committee chairman. And it's always great when people volunteer without being drafted. Okay. Thank you very much. I will get with you offline and give you some guidance. Okay. All right. That takes care of the 2024, the first part. Now, I will tell you that the time is short because you're supposed to provide a ballot to the board by the October board meeting, which is the first week of October. So Beverly will provide you, Beverly or Holly will provide you with a membership roster that has everybody's phone number and email address. Okay. Let's see. And I guess that's it.
There's one other thing they just take care of in September, and that is getting theme ideas for next year.
Oh, yeah.
So with everybody, I'm going to send out an email tomorrow, so you can respond to that. But just pick, 3 or 4 or 5 themes that sound interesting to you. Email them to our club email address. I'll compile them and present them to the board at the October meeting, and then we'll pick our themes for next
And
year.
then at October meeting, we announce what the themes are, so you have 90 days before the January when it's done, okay? But I want to throw this out there, and I think this came up either at a coffee or at the wine and cheese, okay? Consider this, but what if each month the theme was a compositional rule as opposed to wildflowers, architecture, okay? That would be an open-ended thing to where like 1 month is rule of thirds. And all you got to do is make sure the photo meets the rule of thirds. We would get a wide selection of photos, okay, as opposed to a lot of bluebonnets. Just an idea, okay? Think about it, and if you like it, suggest it, okay? All righty. Holly, we got anything else? Nope.
That's it for me.
Okay. Real quick, since we got 1, 2, 3, and we've got a couple board members online, would anybody be opposed to holding the next board meeting at Comal
That's fine.
on a Wednesday night?
I can go.
Anybody online couldn't make it? Let me know.
It depends on what time on Wednesday.
5 o'clock.
I can't make 5 o'clock.
Okay, they close at 6. Okay, we'll do Zoom because they close at 7.
Okay.
Okay, we'll still do Zoom. All right. All right. That's all we got. So here's what I'm going to ask from y'all. Since the speakers here, people on Zoom can't hear you out there. Obviously, they can't hear me right here. All right. So when your photo comes up, I'm going to ask you to come up here and take a seat. And the co-chair is not the hot seat, it's the co-chair, okay? Because this is a little friendly interaction, okay? But when your photo comes up, come on up, and we're gonna be doing like this is a radio talk show, okay? We'll go back and forth a little bit. All right. So Holly, give us the assignment is looking up or down. So Holly, give us the first photo.
Okay, first one is Suzanne Daunt. I don't know, she's not here in the room. Is she online? I heard it's Suzanne Packard.
Don't see her.
No.
Don't see her. Okay, so listen, we're gonna pass that one up. Go to the next one.
Barry. Is Barry here? Oh, I don't see Barry either.
No Barry. Oh man, this is terrible. Okay.
Daryl,
All right. Well, give us.
right, Daryl.
All right, Daryl.
Fields and Destiny.
On up. Long time no see. How you been doing, Daryl?
I'm making it.
You making it? Okay, good. Glad to hear it. All right. What are you shooting with now?
Canon 6D.
6D?
Yeah.
You haven't gone mirrorless yet?
No, I've been able to avoid that. Yeah.
Okay. Tell us, give us the title and give us the background.
The vines. That's pretty simple. And the problem with the picture, okay, right now, is it didn't come out in color like I wanted it to. I had a print of it, much better coloring than that. So I would personally reject it right now as being any much value because there's too much something going wrong on it. But I was on a hilltop town in Italy, and it was pretty steep bank coming up there. those houses that you see in the foreground are right at the edge of that cliff. And directly below is, you know, the farmer's vineyard and olive groves.
Olives, not grapes.
Grapes are the vineyards.
Okay.
I like all the texture with the roof and the fields and the trees. It's a lot of really cool visual texture to take in.
You have the vineyard there and the olive trees both. That looks good.
If I just bumping up the contrast on the upper third or even it out a little bit.
Is that a straight out of camera
Yeah,
rendering?
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't,
But
that's screwed up.
you said you had a photo, you post-processed the photo?
Yeah, that worked out fine.
Okay.
But this file didn't work out very fine.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Good deal. I appreciate it, Darryl.
sure.
Okay. Maybe one day you'll let me come and carry your bags for you and take you to some of these places. Okay. All right. Okay, Beverly, you're up.
Okay. This is actually a picture of the elevator bank in the Summit Hotel and Conference Center in Cincinnati. Since I was there convention, I didn't have a lot of time to look around for anything else. So that's what this is. It's just I was looking straight up at the elevator bank.
Well, you definitely have some lines there. How long were you in Cincinnati, Beverly?
A week.
Okay. Were you there for a trade show or something showing your work?
No, I was there for a colored pencil convention and also to visit relatives.
Okay. Cool. Right. And you're making good use of that iPhone. I'm glad to see that.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Holly, you got anything for them?
Oh, I'm sorry. I like that it's slightly off center at first. I was like, well, maybe if I were standing there, I would get right in the middle of that elevator shaft and look straight up and have it be a little more symmetrical, but the walls aren't symmetrical. They're different, like the lights on one side and just the wall on the other. So I kind of like that it's a little off center.
So I like the fact that in the two banks of elevators, you can see the inside of the elevator doors. And I would think that would tempt somebody, you know, you have all these people that like to go to the top of buildings and jump off of them, right? Anyway, this is something, well, did y'all see the guy in Pennsylvania that did the catwalk up the wall to get out? Well, I think you do a catwalk right here and get up to, you know, you missed the elevator and it's like, oh man, well, let's just catwalk it up. Okay. All right. Thanks, Beverly.
Okay.
Come on up, Boris.
It's me. Last week, I was in Bryce Canyon and I got a new camera, the C8, got a new camera, the C8, and checked out how this works. This is a zoom lens 24 to 120 f4 is pretty sharp. And this is an altitude from about 9,300 feet. And I got pretty much sick afterwards. I was hiking in 95 to 103 degrees every day.
Oh, you didn't stay hydrated, did you?
Yeah, I got the virus in the gallbladder and have to go 30 miles to a hospital. My blood pressure 217 to 137.
Oh, man.
I couldn't stay by myself no more. I couldn't move. I couldn't talk no more. So they fixed me up, you know.
Are you feeling better now?
Yeah. The next day I got released from the hospital and I got to Zion. And it was rain and I make only a few shots. I have one here. It's me, and I was sick like hell.
Okay.
So, but in 14 days, 3 weeks, I go to Oregon on the coast, seascapes and some waterfalls, maybe some forest. But This was Bryce Canyon. I love Bryce Canyon.
Okay. Well, you're just having a good old time.
Yeah.
And you got that Ansel Adams work going here, okay? You got those formations right there in the foreground, okay, that are in focus and sharp, okay? And you know, your midground and your background is really good too.
What is no good? Tell me what is no good.
Well, I would like to see I would like to see what a sunrise or sunset would have done to the color of the walls.
Yeah, the sun usually, the problem here is when you have morning sun, there's so much in shade, but you cannot see. You see only a little bit on the top. When this is sunset, it's the same. You see only on the top and everything because it's so deep. This is very, very black. So I got to the lunchtime, you know, so between 11 and 3 o'clock, because the sun comes from the top and fill up the holes, you know, with light. And this is, I know what you're saying, you know, but
not ever having been there,
yeah,
you know, I haven't experienced that yet.
We go there, we go together.
Yeah, I think the Badlands would lend themselves to that more. The Badlands would lend itself to that morning and evening.
Yeah. So this is the problem. I went there about for 3 days, and I come in the morning and come in the evening and say, I have photos for what I took, you know. The Hollywood, you know, you see only the top is fire red and all is so, and you cannot recover the black, you know.
Did you shoot HDR? You try HDR?
No, I try everything, you know.
Should be able to
highlight protected metering system. I tried this, but this is so deeply dark.
I've been there in the morning time. It wasn't, I guess it was a bit cloudy, so it was softer light.
Yeah, I have the shots and they all look good.
Okay.
I think a beautiful light, and it really glows and illuminates all of the rock wonderfully, you know, from top to bottom. I would maybe tone down the brightness of the bit of road that's right here in the bottom corner, and then lighten up that beautiful tree you have there. I think that's a treasure, a hidden treasure, and that should be.
Yeah, this is what
lighten up
you know, you don't see much trees when the rocks is, and I saw the tree and I said, I want to put them in the image, so I want to have it full in the image. So it gives you a little different.
in perspective as well. That's a really good addition.
So that's it.
Thanks for that, Jorge.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Oh, this is mine.
All right.
I did one. I actually shot something with my phone, but it counts. All right, so I got to go on my first ever cruise in April with my daughter, and I was just enchanted with the whole thing. I've never been on a boat like that, and the noise of the water I really liked, and I spent most of my time right here in this spot on our deck, and I read a book and just listened to the water. And one day it was so clear, and the sea was so deep blue, and the surface is like beautiful teal cyan coming through it, and I love the orange of the decking, and I just thought it was stunning. I would love to see it printed on metal. I think it turned out really, I really liked it. And it's looking straight down. I think some of the images were looking out and not down, where we're looking up but not up. And I was kind of expecting to be looking up or down, not out, you know, with the assignment. So this was straight up.
It's good texture on the surface of the water.
Yeah.
You should have shot at fast speed though.
Yeah. I did do a couple of like exposure lock and things. It wasn't totally manual, but I did mess around a little bit with
Did
it.
you take a camera with you?
Nope.
No.
It was a very tough decision. But I haven't really been shooting with my Nikon since, 2021.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, if you want to donate that camera.
Yeah. So any suggestions for improvement? I wasn't sure where to crop, if I should crop off the bottom little piece or not. And like,
But the thing is, until it came up here, maybe it's because the way it was showing on my computer, because it kind of cuts off the way pictures come up now. This is the first time I saw the date.
Ah.
And that makes the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
it all over, it gives a perspective.
I did not see that when it was showing them together.
Yeah, and there wasn't any way to include more of it. I wish I could have.
It's just enough.
Yeah, that was deck 5, I think. That orange part is the 5th, and we were on the 9th.
Did your neighbors below you, were they worried about you?
Jenny kept fussing at me. She's like, stop putting your phone over the edge.
Okay.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there were desks level with me, right below me, so I had to kind of go out and over to not get them in the shot.
Yeah. It's great.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody. Oh, Christiane, she's online, I think.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't see her.
Oh, I think we had her, maybe she left. Okay.
Go ahead.
James? I don't see him.
He's online.
Is he?
Yes. You there, James?
He's chatting, and he says photo. Photo was taken outside the May Art Museum in San Antonio. I call it ribbon sculpture. It was approximately 10 feet tall, taken about 9 a.m.
Wow. That's a new installation. It wasn't there last time I went to the May, which was before COVID. So probably a lot of new stuff down there.
I think it kind of looks abstract. You can't exactly tell what it is. I like that.
I wonder if this is in the middle, if it's like reflective of maybe clouds or things, right?
Part of it though does look like it loses color because it's so bright. I think for the really bright areas, James, I would try some dodge and burn, just maybe to tone it down just a hair, and try to pull some color back out of it. That's just a thought.
You don't think the white in there brings in another dimension, another color relationship? I think it really gives it a depth, a greater sense of depth and space in there with that light, which.
Okay.
Personal.
Yeah, it's all personal. Okay.
Go to the next
All right. Well, thanks, James. Frank. And give us the whole story.
The whole story?
The whole story.
I had to include the 130 image composite piece as part of the metadata because that seems significant.
I was born at a very young age. This was a photography workshop for precision camera just outside of Burnett for night dark sky photography. And this is, as it says, 130 image composite. My camera has the ability to do a whole lot of cameras to do a 30 seconds on, close for 1 second, 30 seconds back on. So it's 130 frames at 30 seconds each. And so you can set it up to run until your battery dies or until you tell it to stop. So I set that up out there. I was pointing that direction for star trails. I was trying to get the North Star in the middle, but I couldn't find north in the dark. That's why it's in the upper left. I kind of like the way it turned out. There was a whole lot of airplanes in the air, and so I had to go through 130 frames and delete the airplane lights. And the Starlink satellites went by. I had to take them out too. So then I took the 130 frames into Photoshop and did the SAR stack, and that's what it gave me back. And then I did some lightning dark contrast the way I wanted it to look. The trees in the front, I found out on the second time I did the stack, that if you have one or two frames where they're blown out, like when somebody walks by and turns on the headlights or something, it will take the brightest of those frames in Photoshop. So I had to go through those frames that were overexposed and darken those trees down so that I got just barely a little bit of light there on. So this was a lot of fun, and I did not trip and fall in the dark. I had one of those little headlights on my head, and I think there's about 10 of us out there for this workshop. So it was a lot of fun.
So did you composite 130 RAW files?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
On my new Mac, because my old computer would have completely choked on it.
I always I do all my editing and convert them to JPEGs, and then I stack the JPEGs.
And then you stack the JPEG. That would have probably gone faster for me.
And what's nice, as they're stacking, you see the airplane photo, and you can make a note, oh, it's 89.
Yeah. Okay.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I always try to come away with at least 240. That way I can also do a 10-second time-lapse video.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
So.
It's going to be people after the airplane stop,
Yeah. I can't stay up that way. So one thing I didn't realize until I saw this was that, of course, the North Star doesn't move, so you get no movement there. But the farther you are away from the North Star, the longer the streaks are. So now I know that.
I didn't know that. That's good.
Yeah.
I really love this.
Yes.
The trees, I love how we've got them they complement the spiral of the stars and how they kind of come down and then kind of swoop back up. I would like to got just a little bit of light on the top part of the trees. I would like to see just a little bit more light on the bottom too.
Yeah.
Just a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
White painting.
Okay.
It's just stunning. It's one of the best Star Trail pictures I've ever seen. Legit.
All right. Thanks a lot, Frank.
Charlotte online?
Let me see.
I love that.
No.
I just love that. She's not here. The arc and the different textures and colors.
Yeah, the composition is really nice.
Yep. Sandy, come on down. Ooh, another iPhone.
Oh, yeah, this is another iPhone. All of my pictures this month are with the iPhone.
Okay.
Okay, this is in Ecuador when I was in there in June. This is looking down from the balcony, as the thing shows. We were up high in the Andes. We were staying at a guest house. The balcony was right outside my bedroom. And this was early in the morning. We're at about 12,000 feet up there. So it was really interesting. The guest house was really nice, but it didn't have any heat. So I have pictures of us eating dinner in our down jackets and our little hats. And so it was pretty chilly up there that morning, but, and that is not a river, that is a lagoon.
A lagoon.
A lagoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's contained, and I don't know how far it goes around that big.
It's pretty big. I love the curves and the shadow, the clouds reflected in the water, the colors are pretty.
There's a lot of heat.
Yeah, the colors are really nice.
Because at some point we get up at some point we have the evergreens there. So they're and part of it is there's some part of it that they have pasture land. You can see them walk over there with kind of a square. That's pasture.
Forest? 9,000 feet, 12,000 feet. I'm just saying. Pick up the slack. Pick up the slack. It's a beautiful photo.
I believe this is our last one to sign up for this.
This is the last one?
This fun thing too. All right. So we were shooting a proposal, and he was waiting for her to arrive. He had set up this whole plan, like, you're gonna go to dinner with your friend, it'll be so fun. But he actually had a car service waiting for her, and he was gonna bring her to like I can't even remember what that bridge is called, but it's this beautiful bridge in San Antonio. And so he told me, well, he just kept staring at his phone. I was wondering, what is this guy doing? What's going on? And he said, well, we share our locations with each other. So he was actually tracking her to see exactly what she got at the restaurant yet. Was she in the car yet? What was going on? He was so nervous. And so I was like, well, we have to get that part of this. That's just as important as the proposal, right? So,
it's such a great storytelling.
Right.
Yeah. Because with the title and then seeing exactly like, oh, yeah, he's waiting for her. See your dot.
Right.
Very cool. I like the perspective, exposure, everything looks great. You can read it, if there ever is any text in the picture, being able to read it is excellent.
Right.
So again,
Right.
very creative.
So you're a Fuji shooter.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
We have one other Fuji shooter in the club, and it's Patricia.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's nice to find another unicorn. Welcome.
Right. Yes, it's fun out there in the Fuji land.
Okay.
All right.
Anybody want to share? Nope.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Thank you. And you say that was the last one?
That was the last one.
All right. And our winner is Frank.
Well deserved, Frank.
Well deserved, Frank. So, okay.
All right, on to black and white.
Black and white. Okay.
Oh, Frank, don't bother
Frank.
sitting down.
Come on down.
See the workout.
Okay, who knows what this is?
Manhole center?
So when you walk out of a grocery store or a hotel, you look down at the sidewalk, and something is still in your cart, that's what those are. This was at 5:30 in the morning. I had never seen the shadows that long, because these things are like inch tall. And so I thought, oh, I've never seen it look like that, so I shot it. And there's two compositional elements in here that are kind of pushing against each other. One of them is pattern, and pattern is kind of like a static thing. The other is diagonal lines, and diagonal lines represent action. And so here's the tension between the action and the pattern And I thought it looked neat. And I shot it, and I came back an hour later, and it was gone because the light was on fire. There were more shadows there. So this was, it was in Scottsdale, so 5:30 in the morning, it was only like 95. Yeah. Just,
I think it's so cool. The texture and your focus, everything about it's just perfect. Just perfect. Exposure, everything.
Yeah, I tried to have some detail in the shadows and those highlights on the edges of the bumps, and I think I got it.
Good shot.
Thank
Barry.
Barry,
Restaurant or winery?
and Barry's not here, right?
No.
Okay, and that's that winery up between Driftwood and Cow. Okay, Beverly.
Okay. This one's in Evansville, Indiana, in the cemetery. It's dedicated to the Civil War soldiers that's buried there. And I was just playing around with my phone. We were actually looking for my uncle's grave, and it took us quite a while to find it. But so I was just taking some pictures of the interesting tombstones and monuments that were there.
Well, I think your tonal range is really good and your focus is tack sharp. And I love the little white cloud off on the right side. I wish the tree wasn't competing with the soldier behind him. That would be my only criticism, would be maybe take one more step over to the right so that tree would not be intersecting with them. Anybody else?
Okay.
I'm zooming in on my phone, and I can see what we can't see here in the room. That is the face. There's the detail in that shadow on the face. So that confirms, reinforces what you said about the nice tone range is the exposure is real good. So, yeah, nice photo.
Beverly, did you hear Frank?
Not totally.
He said he was zooming in on your photo on his phone, and he could see detail in the face. So that confirms what was already said about your tonal range was very nice.
Oh, thank you.
I'm wondering if a lower vantage point camera down to eliminate or emphasize the rhythmic from there and get rid of a little bit of that stuff in the background. Destroy.
Okay, Daryl was wondering if a lower vantage point would have eliminated some of the distractors in the photo. So shooting up more. So Daryl, you saying the smaller tombstones should be taken out?
No, those are good part. I like that. That jungle of things in the background. I don't know, maybe she can already have a belly shooting itself.
Okay.
As I said, this is in the Atlanta airport. This is another elevator scene. This is the, I was looking for things for looking up, looking down that hotel. And so this was, saw the elevator and I converted it black and white in my phone with the filter in the phone, and I use the one that's kind of silvery because it was very different to me. So you kind of the deco thing.
It's a good choice.
It does look like it, doesn't it? Yeah.
I like your take on it. I do, yeah. That's a good choice.
I like that it's centered in the middle of the picture too, because it kind of works with the, even though it's asymmetrical on either side, having it right there, makes it.
Yeah. So a lot of weird angles, it was hard to know where to take it.
Very geometric shot. It's lots and lots of lines. I like it. I enjoy it.
Daryl.
This again is overlooking, obviously, pretty high area. And I titled it Love because of this heart in here and some of the initials, which I assumed were the couple there that slipped away from the crowd and found this piece of beach.
I hadn't noticed the words.
I hadn't either.
So that's kind of, I thought maybe somebody might assume we're talking about the graffiti in there, but
Looks like a proposal.
yeah. Well, there was something going on down there. I wasn't able to stick around any longer.
I love this composition with the diagonal. Where you have the tonal range and everything. It looks really cool.
You know?
Oh, this is.
It's really nice.
Yeah. Better than the library. That projector was.
Does James have anything to say in the chat? This is James saying about his picture in the chat.
Let's see.
This is it's fucking gonna work here today. This very proud Longhorn was photographed near Aladuro Canyon State Park.
All right. Well, James, you may see this next month with him reversed, looking the other way, so that I'm looking at his eyes as I look left to right. And there'll probably be a bunch of blue bonnets around him at the bottom. And you can thank Photoshop Beta for that.
We talked about low perspective on some of the other photos. I love the low perspective.
Yeah.
It just makes the thing look even bigger.
Yep.
It really puts the horns up into a clear sky, which emphasizes that.
I like the soft effect to the grass and even to the animals' hide, but everything's still on purpose.
Yeah,
There's like a soft effect to it.
The video is nice. I like it.
Hey, James, tell us what you shot it with.
Yeah, exactly. This is darker than it looks on screen. That screen is significantly got a little bit more darkness to it. So we might want to increase the brightness in the future, or see if we can light up the shadows a little bit on the screen, but that is a much better picture than the lighter, that's for sure. Okay, let's see who's next.
All right.
First. Yes. This was the next day after your terrible heat storm.
No, you're trying to give Angelo a run for his money.
So this is what I did, to get something out inside. Like some shots, but I couldn't hide much higher. It was rainy, bad weather.
No, I like this because I don't ever see photos of the bad weather there.
I have the same picture here today in the thing, in color.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When you want to see it, you can see it. Yeah, this is.
I like the tree, especially against the lighter mountain rock range behind it. The dark tree really stands out.
The left front, this is the front, and the next one's behind a little bit, the next behind, so this is several steps, you know.
Mm.
I love the clouds. The clouds on top make it such a dimension on it.
Makes it feel a little dreamy, otherworldly.
Yeah, and the clouds still have texture. A lot of times you see a photo with a lot of clouds and they're blown out.
Yeah.
This is how it looks in color.
Oh, wow.
Hang on a second. Hold it that way. Okay, so he's showing us a color shot of it, which y'all probably can't see very well, but did my best. Okay.
Beautiful work, horse. Wow.
All right.
Oh, it looks so foreboding in color. Okay, let's see next. Oh, this is mine. This is in St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, Vatican. And there's an altar, it's kind of hard to see here, but there's an altar that's down here. And I was at the base of it looking up to the ceiling. So I wanted to get the altar and the dome. So.
It's on the left corner there, yeah, the bottom of the altar, yeah.
Yep. So that's it.
Yeah, you really have to lay on your back and shoot straight up with a fish eye.
Yeah. I was just like the ornate part of the altar. It was so, you can't see it very well. It's a little dark on here, but you can see more detail on the computer. But there was so intricate, carvings were so intricate.
Everything looks very sharp.
This is a little dark, you know, when you go with highlight protect the metering mode on this one, it was shadow.
Well, that's what I was saying, Marcia. It looks dark there, but here, let's see. It's not that dark.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's just a
Otherwise,
resolution.
highlight protected.
Love the detail, love the texture. That was gorgeous.
It's not totally symmetrical, so that bugs me a little bit. And it looks just over just a little bit more to the left.
One more step.
Yeah, one more step, it would have been a better composition.
Crawling on the altar,
Christy Ann isn't on.
She's not with us.
Oh, okay, that was it for black and white.
All right, moving on to color.
James.
James.
I like the white, none of the white is blown on the flower. And you get a lot of good detail and
The background, the way it's so
Water
dark,
drops.
it just really makes it project.
mm-hmm.
And the detail and the highlights are really good.
The water drops add some texture and interest to it.
What water?
He hasn't chatted anything.
It's pretty fun. Okay. Oh, there, it's not here. What a shame, that is a cool picture. To hear the story of how he got that.
Yeah. That is neat.
Definitely a bad day indeed.
Yes, it was a bad day. This is my sister's car after her and I didn't quite make it to breakfast one morning. And yeah, it was definitely a bad day. So
In good detail, Beverly.
thank you.
The sharp edges are very sharp.
That wasn't recently, was it?
It was the 3rd of August.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was up in St. Louis. I was visiting her. And someone pulled out in front of us.
But you guys are okay now?
Yeah, it was just bruises from the seat belts and the airbag. So had some bruises for a few weeks, but that was the extent of it. But otherwise, everybody was okay.
Glad to hear that.
Okay, so, 4 friends, this is in my home studio, which means tabletop. And, picked up some flowers at HEB that I liked and shot them with, this is just with one flash, over to the right, about 45 degrees over, 45 degrees up in a softbox, so I get a nice soft light to it. And then because I'm so close, I'm having to do some focus stacking. So this is probably about 5 shots that were stacked in Photoshop to get the sharpness most of the way through. There's some off in the corners that aren't sharp, but that's okay.
Good job.
It's beautiful. It's so rich. Do you increase the contrast or is that from using the flash?
I do it a little bit with color, but the flash really makes it pop. And the background paper that I have is a dark gray, and it just kind of stays dark gray. I can make it go black if I want to, but I like the dark gray because it makes the color pop out.
There's like a little
That's-
green in the middle. Is that a stem or is that from your backdrop?
That probably from a stem.
That's a sellable print.
No, thank you.
That's really pretty.
Thanks, Frank.
You might have to make a print of that.
Daryl.
What we have is straight up.
There was no Baldacchino in the way, so you could look straight up into the dome. The Hagia Sophia. I took this before it became a mosque again. So it was a museum at this time. And I was able to get in where I wanted to be. I thought the color was kind of nice.
It is.
How old is this?
How old is the shop?
No, the place.
Oh, 500 BC or AD, excuse me.
Where's it at?
Istanbul.
Istanbul, okay. It's really amazing.
All those earthquakes.
Are those windows just around the bottom of the dome? Is that a ring of windows? I thought.
Looks like it.
Oh, that's so cool.
What was
Those
that?
are windows up here in the dome?
Yeah, little windows around there at the base of the dome.
And is there a walking path around the bottom of the dome?
Not for the public.
But for them to get up there and do work?
I suppose clean windows, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There isn't much work to do.
Because it looks like there's a rail.
Yeah,
There's our rail.
there's probably something up there, but
We get up there, you know, water standing.
yeah. All the wires that you see there are holding up votive lights down, you know, they're only 50, 75 feet from the floor there.
Are any of the windows stained glass?
No, there is some along this left side. I don't know, I don't remember the right-hand side, but there's some stained glass in there. Non-figurative, of course, it's just patterns, designs like everything else. And the 4 winged angels in the corner were from the early Christian era when it was built. And it had been uncovered, but I suspect they probably get painted over, covered over them by now.
I love it. It's beautiful. Sandy.
Okay, we're still in Ecuador. And this is climbing up from where we were on the other, overlooking the lagoon. This is the next day or later that day, climbing up to about 13,000 feet. And we're on our way, we're up above the tree line, and we're on our way to try to see the Andean condors. And there is also a species of hummingbird that live up there. That's the only place that you can find them. So we were searching for those too. And we read across this llama on the way. It was kind of cool that he was just out there all by himself, so. It's really cool.
Nice shot.
Great composition.
Good composition.
Good job with the clouds.
Flowers, yeah, that's great.
Yep,
Grass texture's great.
yep.
It was really beautiful up there. It was, we were past all the trees and the grasses were beautiful, and there were a lot of wildflowers up there that I was unexpected being that high. Beautiful wildflowers.
You missed just a touch of the vignette. Can never do it now.
For those that are newer, Ralph likes to do that like that. Patricia.
Well, this is Chicago. This was taken from the Sears building. It's called the Sky Tower, I believe, or the Sky Deck, actually. And that was prior to having a Fuji. That was taken with a Nikon.
I love how 3 of the 4 corners are anchored with silver buildings. It's really cool. And then you got the silver squiggly sculpture thing in the center. Very cool. Any other comments? Christy Ann, oh, she's not here. That is such a cool shot.
I love the strong horizontal.
Mm.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Of course.
Everybody can see there's an air show. The Thunderbirds did it with a D850, 420 millimeter. This is a 300 millimeter 2.8 plus a teleconverter. And what I have a very tall tripod, is about 8 feet or taller. So, and I have a step ladder, so I'll be over the head from all the people. So I can make the shots. Or when I go make a lot of photos from car racing, it's the same. You know, up everybody. So that's it. I like the smoke, you know, when you come to the front. So
I think you've got a great angle here, because a lot of times when they're flying in formation, if you're just a little bit off, they look like they're not in position.
Yeah.
But this looks perfect. So
I might crop in just a little bit more. I don't think you would lose much by moving some of the sky to the top and to the, just a little bit.
On which side? On the right side?
Yeah, just a little bit on this side, a little bit on the top, just to bring the planes in a little closer. That smoke trail is amazing.
The problem is, you know, when you crop, then just get a little bit unsharp, you know.
Mm.
So I can try it. Definitely. Okay.
Good job.
how are you focusing? Was there a specific focusing mode that you were using? Because they're moving kind of fast.
Sure.
Or was it just Nikon's just really good? Do you remember?
Most cameras we can.
I don't remember exactly about changing several times. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, Holly.
So you guys have seen a different version of this where I took this shot and the spider was actually, it was looking up at me. I was more, yeah, it was sleeping. I call it not jumping, but sleeping spider. So this is the same from that same series, but this is more just directly overhead. And I didn't like it as much the first time because you can't see the spider's little face, which is hiding right underneath those two little arms. Just kind of like hiding his face underneath those little arms. And this whole thing was about the size of a Q-tip. That bug, it's about the size of a Q-tip. So it was an itty bitty little teeny tiny jumping spider. Oh, and I love the one petal, or the one thing hasn't come out yet from right there. You see that little green that hasn't come down this one. It's cool too. But this one, I wasn't sure if I should crop in more or not. Yeah,
I think a 1-to-1
yeah,
crop
crop it in.
would,
I love the background, the color and the border is just right.
the separation.
It separates it just enough to focus our eyes on the flower and the spider.
And it gives it
It's
a
not-
3D
not-
look.
It goes perfect, it's not a distraction at all.
I think PSA will ding me because the petals are not in focus, but it's stacked. This is one shot. But the side,
Stack moving insects and.
yeah.
But still, it doesn't.
And now seeing it up there, I probably should take out that little bit of white swoosh and that little black dot too, if I were gonna print it or do anything more.
Thanks, Holly.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, okay, so theme for October is long exposure. Okay, so that could take a lot of different things. Okay.
Frank, put his picture back.
Do what?
I sent that photo and then I looked at that next month. Gotta go back.
Okay.
And the rest of the year, then we have guilty pleasure and patterns.
Yeah, I'm waiting for guilty pleasure. Okay.
We did say at the beginning of the year, it has to be PG.
Okay, so that brings us pretty much to a close. Just a couple of well, one announcement that I don't think I covered earlier, but October 7th is our club is sponsoring one of the Kelby Worldwide Photo Walks. That is an opportunity for photographers to get together and do a photo walk and possibly raise money for charity. And it goes to support a children's orphanage in Kenya. Okay, now the way they raise the money, the walk is free. Okay, and you can show up and we'll do a walk. And the one we're sponsoring is down at the Blue Stars where we're going to start. And we're going to take the river walk up toward town, and then we're going to come out on the north end of the King Williams district and walk our way back to the Blue Star. Now, I chose that route because the early morning light, the walk starts at 6. But with the housekeeping, making sure you got everybody signed up and all that, and then getting started, we probably won't actually get out on the river walk till about 6:15, 6:20 or something like that. But the early morning light on the river walk and early morning, the water tends to be more still and you get really nice reflections. So we'll get some nice reflections and we'll have some wildlife going out. And as we're going out, don't forget to turn around and look back because there's some good shots to be had there as well. And then for folks that go out on the walk, I have like a 8-page, that's 4 pages front and back. It's of some historical facts on the King William district. Okay, so as we're coming back, everybody there's a map. Okay, you see the dotted lines on 2 roads. It kind of just goes straight back to the Blue Star. And you can hop back and forth between the 2 roads and check everything out. And then when we get back from the walk, we're going to see about grabbing breakfast somewhere and sharing our photos. Yes.
I have an invite on the 7th.
Come on, come on up.
If the Carriage House Gallery in Bernie is celebrating its 20th anniversary. I'm a member of the gallery, part owner. And from 4 to 7 in the evening, there will be music, free food and drink, margaritas. And you'll have an opportunity to have desserts made by the artists, as well as the things on the wall made by the artists. So in the evening, or yeah, it would be evening 4 to 7.
Email me a short paragraph.
Okay.
Okay, with directions and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
The Carriage House Gallery is just off Main in Bernie
Okay.
on Rosewood.
All right.
So I'll send you all the stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll do a meetup thing in Braunfels, and I'll do it in the church thing.
All right. That's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So that brings us to the end of the meeting. I just want to, one last time, open the floor up to any questions about photos from Pembray.
What time are you gonna be there Wednesday morning?
I'm going to be there at 8 on the cherry picker, putting the chains up. Okay. I don't need a bunch of photographers showing up at 8 because it's not going to be anything to do with standing around and watch one person in a cherry picker, well, 2 people. They'll have their maintenance guy running the cherry picker, and then they want us to do the zip ties and stuff like that. So, and that's going to take some time to work our way down the concourse. So I would say 9 o'clock would be the earliest, to start walking in. Okay. Now, if for any reason you can't be there that morning, reach out to me and let me know. Okay. So that I can save space if need be. Okay. But last time we did this, we did get everybody there that morning. Some people came in around 10:30, 11 o'clock. We still got it done. Now, I will tell you, we want the photos to stay up for the entire show. So if for any reason you can't be there for the night, meet the artist reception, and then take your work home that night, let me know, and I will secure your work and get it to you somehow, okay? But I really want the concourse full of art, so the Photos and Pembray staff or organizers come to our reception and they document the reception like they did last year. They took a bunch of pictures, ended up on their website. And the goal is we want to try to get a photo of each artist standing in front of their work. And if for any reason they can't come out to our reception, we will forward the photos to them so they can document it, okay? And it become a permanent part of history, okay? As a Photos and Pembray event. Okay.
Victor?
Yes.
Were you gonna ask them to set up at least one table?
I asked them to set up 2, Patricia.
Thank you.
And what she's referring to is during setup, we asked for a couple of tables like this. So if we need to fix the back or restring some wire, we're not on our hands and knees on the floor. Okay, Ralph?
Is there anybody that would like a flatbed scanner? It's also good for slides and negatives, color black and white. It's perfectly usable. It's an Epson. And it's there for your taking. It's free.
Okay, we have a taker. The Epson scanner's gone. Y'all were too slow. Yes. I'm sorry? Oh. Yeah, and there's a day 4 and a day 3 and a day 2. What that is I posted a meetup event for the hours the convention center is open for that day. And I have been using a different photo from a different artist each day. And part of it is PR, advertising. And because meetup goes, oh, here's something happening, can you go to it? So it's gonna help push the word out. That's all it is. you as artists and photographers don't have to, chime in, but I would like for you to go to the one that we have for the closing reception. I would like everybody that's going to be there to RSVP for it, okay? And then also ask your friends if they're going to come to RSVP, so we can kind of get a head count. So when I go to buy refreshments and stuff like that, we'll have an idea of what we need to buy, okay? There will be no alcohol, okay? Because no alcohol, okay? We'll have water and a variety of sodas, a variety of HEB sodas, because the name brand soda is way too expensive. No, what it costs to pay for off-duty police to be security when you have alcohol in an event, we don't have the budget for it. So no alcohol. Okay. All right. Any questions from the folks in Zoom land? Going once, going twice, gone. Okay. Remember, if you're a photo September participant, to email me the number of photos that you are bringing to hang, so that I can print the correct number of placards for your photos. And then if you go to the meetup site to find your photo album and try to upload your photos, if you have any difficulty at all, reach out to me, okay? And I can either fix it, walk you through it, or you send me the photos and I'll put it in there for you. Okay?
Victor, just to let everyone know, you can't access the photos from the mobile app. You actually have to go to the desktop version.
Okay. Okay. Well, Holly, real quick, you're sharing your screen, right? Can you pull up your browser and go to the, well, let me see what time it is. Yeah, we got a few minutes. Go to the New Braunfels meetup site.
So you guys get to also my email. It's loading.
Okay, you probably all lost the, well, I don't know, did y'all lose the screen share?
Yeah, we just see you, Victor.
Seeing the participants, yeah.
Well, that's,
I'll get back.
that's not what you
Get
want to
logged in
see.
and I'll share it again.
All right. She's going to do a new screen share once she has the app up. Once she's in the app, I'll walk her to where she needs to go. Okay. All right. So she's fixing to share the screen, and okay, everybody see the meetup site?
Yes.
So you see up under our logo, it's got about, events, members, photos. Click on photos. And it takes you to albums, okay? And go ahead and click, the first one there is artwork by artist Victor Watson. And all the verbiage is the same, artwork by artist so-and-so. Go ahead and click on my album and click on the first, the banner. Okay, so I created this certificate and made a JPEG out of it for each and every artist. And that is the first slide that pops up when someone goes to your album, okay? And you see over here in the comments on the right, Victor can be reached at shirtsphoto@gmail.com or by phone, and I give phone number, all right? Hit that little arrow, go to the next photo, okay? And I still have to go in, and you see up there where it says add caption. That's where I'm going to click all three photos. And I still have one photo to add up there. Maybe. I may just go with these three. But these three photos, the title for these are going to be Walk with the Lord morning, noon, and night. Okay. And I plan to offer it as a set for one price or individually at one price. And all that will be over here. If there's enough room in the let's say, is it comment or caption? The caption is going to be title and by artist, okay? And if I'm able to do a return and do another couple of lines, that's where I'm going to put the price. If I can't do it there, I'm going to do it in the first comment block, which is down below. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Yep, you can. Yep. All right. So each one of you have that album. The barcode I'm creating for you that will be on your placard that will be by your photos will take people to your photo album. Let's see. Go to Bill's. Oh, click the next. See, where's the next photo? I loaded that bike up. Your photo's a bike, right? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna have to check on that. Maybe okay. I didn't send it to you again. It's different now. Oh, it's different now? I put it in my system. Okay, well, you need to send me the new photo. You need to send me the new photo then. Yeah. Well, no, you load up the new photo. Yeah. Okay. But like I said, each artist that's participating, except for two, because I couldn't find their usernames in Meetup, I made co-organizers. Okay, so in fact, Holly, can you Holly, can you go to manage group? And go to okay. Well, yeah, we can't get there. All right. But you see down at the bottom where it says step down as a system organizer. Okay. When you do yours, it should say a system organizer. Okay. Or it should say step down. Don't step down yet. Go do all your work. Okay. And hey, as long as you're members of the club, don't step down. In fact, feel free to, hey, feel like going to Fredericksburg tomorrow. Let me put a meetup and say, going to Fredericksburg, let's meet at the market plots or whatever you call it, and at 8 o'clock or whatever, and see if anybody else goes. That's how you get groups of people going with stuff. And the more people we get that's willing to post different things to do, the more activity we'll have going on. Okay? All right. Well, that's all I got. No questions? All right, guys. That's it. Thanks.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Night.
Night, everybody.